Welcome to my second video of the playlist Let's JavaScript. So today's is a very interesting concept that every beginner comes across while preparing for JavaScript interviews or learning JavaScript. So we call it variable hoisting. So what I've done is on the left hand side I've prepared about 5 or 6 snippets over here. So what you have to do is you just have to think about what it would output if executed independently of each other, right? So you take this, execute it on the JS runtime, then you take it, okay, second one. So just guess the output, okay? So let me tell you, the first one would output you 5, okay? Similarly, the second one, if executed, would output you undefined, okay? Third one would again output you undefined, fine. This one would not output anything, but it would throw a reference error, fine. So reference error is a JS runtime error. So it would just halt your execution of the program, right? So there's a difference. So this is my reference error. So we'll go through what happens behind the scenes that we are getting such strange outputs, and meanwhile we will be learning the variable hosting concept too. So our main motto behind this video is to learn what happens actually behind the scenes, how JS executes to actually find the output of these snippets. First of all, let me tell you that our JavaScript works in two phases. So we call it, one is creation phase, another is execution phase. So basically it is both compiled and a runtime and a runtime interpreted language, right? So the first phase is creation phase, where actually your declarations and variables, function declarations, and the memory gets allocated in this phase, in the creation phase. Fine, simple as that. As the name sounds, we are going to create something, right? The JS runtime would actually create variables or allocate memory for you. And remember, this only occurs for your variable and function declarations, right? Then after that, again the second phase starts, in which from the first line of what you have written, it would start executing. Now, what is this execution phase? Execution phase is any assignment of a variable or any function calls you make. So that's why I have divided this video. In my upcoming videos, you will see more about how function calls works through these phases. But now I have kept it through only discussion of variables, right? So let's execute this particular code and understand how these two phases works, right? So let's see this. Var equal to 5 console log a, right? We know that this is going to output us 5. So the first phase is our creation phase. Now creation phase also deals with, so whenever JS goes on to execute something in your code, it actually creates a abstract environment for you. Now that environment would hold all the variables you declare, all the functions you declare, okay? Anything that needs to be kept in one environment for you, right? So we'll learn more about this in our upcoming sessions. So this whole concept of execution context is the main funda behind all the weird concepts of JS, like closures, scoping, hoisting. So we need to understand this. So when the global execution context is created, whenever JS runs, okay, now in my global execution context, our first is a creation phase. In my creation phase, I told you that only my variable declarations would be encountered or would be acknowledged. So I have seen that var a is a declaration. So what I will do is I'll actually allocate a memory for a. Now remember that, as I told you, in the creation phase, my assignments are not gonna be acknowledged. So my a would be having an initial value of undefined. Remember that. So in my creation phase, all the variables are created, but with a default value of undefined. Now I know that in my creation phase, this is the statement which I don't acknowledge. I only acknowledge variable declarations and function declaration. So only this part I have acknowledged. So this is how your creation phase ends over here. Now starts your execution phase, right? In the execution phase, I told you that we actually deal with all the print statements, log the statement, log any value or function calls or any variable assignments take place, right? So I know that again. So remember that once creation phase ends, Again, my JS would go up, parse the first line over here, see that only this one I have to encounter because this is the part of my execution, the variable assignment. Now actually my variable would get a value of 5. Okay, I know that the memory is there. I just need to put a value of 5 over there. Now, now remember that this is also a part of execution phase. So I'm gonna log my value A. What is the value of A? So my JS runtime would just check the value of what is there in the memory to which A is pointing to. So it's 5, and it would log you the 5 result. Okay, this was very simple. So now we would take our second example. So we know that in this case our output was undefined, right? So let's see how this works. Again, we have our creation phase ready. We know that initially my A would have an undefined value. Okay, I know that this both would be ignored. This second and third line would be ignored in my creation phase. Now comes my execution phase. So I know that in my execution phase I would be actually printing the value of A. I know that my value of A is undefined right now, so it would just print the value of undefined. Now my third line is equal to 5, so my A would hold a value of 5. But remember that my output was already done in my second line, so that's why this code snippet prints you undefined as an output. Now let's move to this third example. We know that again this snippet also prints an undefined for you. So we need to see this, that in my creation phase, again this first line would be ignored because it's a part of execution phase. Now my second line, only this declaration would be acknowledged in my creation phase, right? Because we are in the first phase. So my A would have a value of undefined, remember, not 5, because that is the actual assignment which takes place in the second phase, execution phase. Now I know that again in my execution phase I would again start from this first line, console log A, it prints undefined, then my assignment comes over here, that's A equal to 5. Okay, now I know that though my A is holding a value 5, but my output was already done in my first line. Okay, now let's come to this interesting one. Now here I know that that when my creation phase starts, even this is not acknowledged and this is also not acknowledged, right? Because these are not variable declarations where actually I have to create something, right? So my creation phase, actually nothing happens. I have nothing in my global execution context, right? So I just try to print A. Now I know that JS will try to print something which does not exist in memory. A is pointing to nothing. Basically, A does not exist. So that's why I would have an error over here, and this line would never get executed because as I told you that this is a runtime error in JavaScript. Okay, which halts the execution phase. Okay. Now again, as simple as that, I try to my execution my in my creation phase. Wait a second. So I know that this would not be a reference error. This would be a undefined. Okay, I'm sorry for the. Okay, so why I'll tell you. The first phase, I know that my variable would get created, right? As A is equal to undefined, the default value of the creation phase. Now in my execution phase, I start printing. Okay, this would be ignored. This would be done. Okay, console log A is undefined. So this would print you undefined. Okay, so this is how your output works. But what is this hoisting? Like when you hear this concept in JS, now I'll tell you that you already know what happens uh, behind the scenes of hoisting. But why is this called hoisting? Because it seems as if the variables have been hoisted upwards. So I'll tell you how. Just okay. So just think of this case, that how are you able to print something like this? Okay, because actually your a variable has already been allocated. The memory has been already allocated for you. So that's why we say that it seems as if your this particular declaration line has moved upward in your code. Okay, it looks like that, but that's not a practical concept. That's just a theoretical concept. So actually your code remains like this, but the execution, but since JavaScript works in this two phase, it seems as if my all my declarations have been hoisted upwards. Okay, so this is how it works. Now I'll tell you that, let me take an another example, which would be a interesting one. So when I have my, let's say I have my console log A, okay, and I have A equal to 5, okay. Let's take this interesting code to my JS console and let's try to print it, okay. So as you see, it throws a reference error. Now, why is it so? Okay, we need to understand this, that since again I'm trying to print something which does not exist in my memory, that is variable A. Okay, so guys, this is how variable hoisting works actually. And remember that remember that sometimes when you write this, okay, you are not printing something, but let's say you are just writing A equal to 5 and you don't declare that variable, okay. So I'll tell you why that also works in JavaScript, that you are able to actually just assign a value to a variable without even declaring it. So in your creation phase, so in your creation phase, you know that this particular line would be ignored because this is an assignment. Now comes my execution phase. So remember that JS is a bit lenient in this, that when you assign something to a variable, it actually creates a memory for you in the execution phase. So we have to remember that the variable actually is created with the value of 5, but it actually happens in my execution phase. Okay, so this is a slight difference, that what happens when you uh, assign a variable without declaring it. So your variable JS leniently creates during the execution phase of the runtime. Okay, so guys, this is it, and I think I'll come up with more complex scoping and closures, because you, since you know about execution context, the introduction is there with you right now. So I think now we can even go into deep into the concepts like scoping and how closures work. So guys, till then, goodbye, take care.